What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So the stock market absolutely crushed it today, guys. What a day. S&P 500 up 1.3%, Dow Jones up 1.1%, and the Nasdaq 100 went up 1% as the Russell 2000 led the way up 2.4% on the day. And today we're going to be talking more about the stock market, breaking down some technicals, going over a bunch of stocks to buy now, and I also want to share with you guys what I did in the stock market today, what stocks I own right now, and in general where my head is at as a trader and as an investor. So if you guys find value, I'm sure you will, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to join the Strive Smart Discord chat and Facebook group and get yourself 4 free stocks from WeBull. And by the way, you guys like free things? Well, all of those are free of charge, so go take advantage of them, link down below, and let's get right into the video. So what happened today in the markets? Well, we got some good news regarding stimulus, and I'm not a stimulus channel, so we're not going to dive deep into the stimulus, but the markets are obviously driven based on stimulus right now and positive news around the CV. And we also have seen Pfizer, they're rolling out the V-shot this week. So these are a couple of good things being accumulated and starting to compound together in the stock market right now. And yesterday, we actually saw a big drop in the S&P. You guys remember we gapped up, we saw a big run in the morning, then we actually collapsed at the resistance of this wedge, but we held the support of the wedge at a higher low. And notice what happened today. We gapped up, right? We closed yesterday at 36.45, which happens to be a big old resistance. We held it as a new support, which is a good sign. That was actually an all-time high from a couple weeks ago, 36.45, so we held it today. And we gapped up aggressively from 36.45 up to 36.60. We popped up to about 36.80 almost. We pulled down. We held a higher low, and then we curled right back up and hit almost 3,700 at the close of the day. And notice what happened here. This is very pivotal for a momentum shift from us being in this little wedge to now the momentum is slowly shifting to the upside. The bulls are gaining that momentum. Notice how we broke out of the resistance. We popped to about 36.95. We pulled down. We held the 50 SMA on the 5-day 5-minute chart and the resistance of the wedge as a support, and we ran into the close. This is very, very big, and I'm thinking we can go much higher if we end up gapping up tomorrow. Take a look where we're at right now. Just because we broke out of the wedge doesn't mean we're out of the woods quite yet, because 3,700 needs to break. 3,700 is where we saw resistance yesterday. So to avoid this being a double top, which if it's a double top and we gap down, that's bearish. So to avoid that, we need to gap out of 3,700. And I think at that point, honestly, S&P 500 is going to be gunning for all-time highs again. And of course, if we get more news about stimulus, positive news, that's going to happen, in my honest opinion, right, based on the technicals I'm seeing. So watch out for that. And when it comes to SPY, the S&P 500 ETF, a couple of key levels to watch out for: 369.50 and 370, right? Pretty much those two. If that breaks, we could see a lot more upside here, all-time high even on SPY at about 371, 372. That's where I think it could go if 370 breaks. So watch out for that breakout there. And let's say we get a pull down. Let's say this is a double top. Watch for 367 as support on the downside. And for the Dow Jones Industrial Average here, guys, take a look at what's going on. 4-hour chart. We're seeing it's been kind of slowing down ever since it hit above 30K. It's been hovering between, 30,100, 30,300. And now with the price action we saw today, this is a good sign for the bulls out there. We gapped down yesterday. We hit the 50 SMA on this 4-hour chart, and today we hit it again as support, and we popped right above it. We popped right off of it. So that's a good sign. Bulls want to take the Dow higher, but again, we're in a tight range. We have resistance coming up, 30,200, 30,300, right around there. So that needs to break for the next leg up in the Dow. Again, we're in a pretty tight range, so watch out that resistance and the support right around 29,800 to about 30,000. So Dow Jones is looking pretty strong, but we need to see what direction we pick for either a leg up or a leg down. And when it comes to the good old Nasdaq 100, guys, what happened today? Well, we got another big green day. Not as big as the Russell. The Russell went crazy, up 2.4%, because small caps out there, they're very reliant on stimulus. They're very reliant on this V-shot, right, to get everybody back to normal, the consumer sentiment back to normal, to go out and shop at these small businesses and use their products. So Russell is very, very, sensitive to stimulus and V-shot news and CV news as well. So, yeah, watch out for the Russell. But for the Nasdaq 100 here, today we actually pulled down. We held a higher low at 12,480. 460, right around there. 50 SMA, we held it like clockwork. We broke out of the high from yesterday, which was very bullish, at about 12,540, and we ended up closing the day on an up streak. We ended up closing on a very bullish bullish note, whatever you want to call it. And what this looks like to me is Nasdaq 100 is gunning for the high, and the high right here is at about 12,650. So I think that's going to test, based on these technicals, maybe sometime this week. So watch out for that, guys. And overall, it seems like the little mini pull down we saw a couple days back last week, a little bit yesterday, it seems like it's slowly fading away and bulls are gaining that momentum back. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I would love to know, as always, and drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys are enjoying the video. And again, just let me know your thoughts overall. What do you think about the markets? And what did I do today? Well, I actually trimmed a little bit of Apple. And don't call me crazy, guys. Do not call me crazy. But I'm just following my plan. You guys remember, if you've been following the channel for a while, I got into Apple at 112, and I mentioned I want to trim a little bit when it gets to about 125, 127. And today was the day. It went up 5%. Not saying I'm a bear now on Apple, because I still own a good amount of the shares, but I trimmed a little bit, and we got news that they actually plan on boosting the iPhone production by 30% in the first quarter, or actually the first half of 2021. So that popped the stock like crazy today. And we also got a price increase, although this is not as groundbreaking news as the production increase, but we also got an increase by Casen Securities. This firm, they actually increased the price target from $125 to $140 and put a buy rating on the stock. So again, I got in at $112, and I mentioned to you guys I want to trim a little bit at 127. So I did exactly that. I didn't trim half. I actually trimmed about 30% of my position, right at about $127.30. So overall, on that position, I've held it for a couple of weeks at this point on Apple. It was well over 10%, about 12% to be exact. So I'm very happy with that trade there in Apple. And again, I still have exposure because I think it's going higher, but it's never a bad idea in my head and in my eyes with my trading style, and I'm sure you guys can agree. It's never a bad idea to trim some profits, lock in some profits, raise some cash, maybe hold it for opportunities that could come up later on in the week, later in maybe next week, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. I locked in there with Apple, still holding on to a good amount of shares. And Exxon Mobil, excuse me, guys, this is one that I just got in today. I mentioned it yesterday that I was looking at Exxon Mobil. We saw a nice pull down. It held the 50 SMA here on the 4-hour chart at about $42. Previous high was at about $44.60. So that pull down was about a 6% window that was opened. And today I saw a lot more of the uptrend momentum. We saw a pull down to about 42 this morning. Excuse me, guys. Again, geez. We held 42, the low from yesterday, and we broke out. We broke out of the moving averages here on the 5-day, 5-minute, and I actually got in when it breached above 43. So arguably I got in a little bit late, but hear me out. I'm holding on to this for at least $45 plus. I got in exactly at $43.05, and now it's going pretty haywire after hours. I don't know what's going on here. You guys see these candles? It just popped up to about $43.30. Now it's back down to right around my cost basis. It actually closed right under my cost basis. $43.04 is where it closed. So this is more of a a reopen play with all the companies using more of that energy. And now it's going back up. Now it's at $43.30 after hours. So maybe there's something going on right now with Exxon. But either way, I'm long Exxon. In my swing account, I picked up some, and I actually added some into my M1 Finance portfolio, which is an account that I've started here on the YouTube channel a little bit over a year ago, and I've grown it now. I actually added that to my M1 portfolio, and if you guys haven't seen that playlist, I'll link it down below. Go check out that series. So that's what I did today. I trimmed Apple, I added Exxon, and I'm still in Workhorse at $22, which is a hold for me right now. I think there's upside to about $25, $28, so I'm holding on to Workhorse. And SLV is my silver play. I'm in at about $23 roughly on that one, and I think there's upside for silver as well, especially with the money printing coming, the devaluation of the dollar. I think gold and silver are likely going to benefit, which is why I want exposure to both. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What did you do today? What stocks are you holding? Are you buying? Are you selling? Your thoughts on the market? I would love to know. Now let's talk about a bunch of other ones that I'm looking to buy right now. Then at the end of the video, we'll talk about two ones that I'm waiting a little bit on. And the first one here is TTCF, Tattooed Chef. And we actually called this out. Was it on Sunday, maybe on Friday as well. We covered this one in a couple of previous videos. So if you caught the initial move that we saw, was this on Monday or Friday? We saw a nice 10% move. That was actually yesterday, actually. I said actually like 5 times. Actually, whatever. You guys get the point, right? Yesterday, Tattooed Chef had a 10% move. We got out of the main resistances we were talking about in those videos last week, the 180 SMA, the 50 SMA, the overall 1850 level, which was a resistance from back in June into September of this year. So that's a pretty good sign. And we got the breakout, and now we're a bit overbought. I mean, not anymore. We were overbought pre-market today, but now with this pull down from 2150 to about $19, $19.50 where it's holding right now, I think this could be an entry point. Even if it comes lower to $18.50, maybe $19 flat to test that old resistance as a new support, that could be another great entry as well. So this one has a long ways to go. I'm not saying it's going to crush it above $30, $40, but I think it could get to mid-20s. I think that's where it could get to, and the momentum is slowly starting to shift from the Bears having the upside now to the Bulls having the upside. So Tattooed Chef is definitely worth watching. Another one that we were talking about in the Discord chat today, which by the way is free of charge, you might as well join it, link down below, was CIIC. This one's taking Arrival public, which is a UK maker of vans, transportation vans, and they have a 10,000 vehicle order right now with the UPS. And if you guys remember that short report from Fuzzy Panda, this company was mentioned in that short report from Fuzzy Panda on Workhorse. They actually had a short report on Workhorse where they mentioned the UPS's relationship with Arrival, which again is CIIC. And this company's pretty interesting. Now it's down about $10 from its peak just literally last week at about $37. Now it's down to about $27, down over 25%. And what you guys notice is we're right by that 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, which we held at $19 a couple trading days ago, and we ripped all the way up to $37. So this is very worth watching in my opinion. And I almost took a position today, but I said, let me relax. I don't want to overtrade. Let me sit back and wait for tomorrow, maybe at some point the rest of this week even, to maybe take a position in CIIC, but it's tuning up. I like it. If this 50 SMA can hold and maybe we get a pop, let's say on this hourly chart outside of this little downtrend or this wedge, whatever you want to call it, right? Because it's still downtrending. That's the thing. We're still under the main moving average here, 50 SMA. So if it breaks out into maybe $29, $30, that could be the entry point. If you guys want to wait for confirmation. I mean, sure, you can get in now, but you run the risk of it going lower, maybe to the mid-20s, maybe 23, 24. But either way, I like CIIC. I think there's potential, no doubt about it. And it's going to rip higher in my honest opinion. And you guys must do your own research, your own due diligence, but that's just my opinion, right? This is the Stas YouTube channel after all, right, guys? So SPLK, Splunk, is another one, up 1.5% today. This is one that we've also mentioned in previous videos along with Tattooed Chef. This is one that has been hit very hard. They had an earnings miss. The stock dropped 20, 30%, whatever it was, and it ended up holding this bottom part of the channel, the support of this channel, at about $150. Now it's ripping back up into the low 160s, and it seems like the bulls are gaining momentum again, and we see the potential here. Based on this chart, we can see that, okay, Splunk could make it back up to the 190s, maybe even crack 200 if it breaks out of this downwards channel. So this may just be the beginning with Splunk at $160. This could very well be the beginning of the rally, so I think it's worth watching. Ticker symbol SPLK here as a move into the mid 170s, 180, and we are about to test. We are about to test 165, which is a resistance. This 50 SMA. So if that breaks, I'm probably going to be in. That's the only upcoming resistance here that I'm a bit worried about still. But the second it breaks that, I'm probably going to be in. And SRAC is another one. This is momentous. I made a video on this a couple weeks ago, a little bit over a month ago, whenever that was, when the stock was trading at $10. It was trading just at $10. The stock ended up ripping up to $18. You know, talk about timing, right? I made that video. It was uploaded for like a week or two, 3 weeks, maybe close to a month, who knows. And then the stock started going bananas. It almost doubled, and now we're down a good chunk. We're down about $3.50 from that peak. That equates to about, what, 25%? More like 20%. So I'm thinking this is a dip that has to be taken seriously. And I understand it could go down at the lowest point, maybe $12, 180 SMA 4-hour chart here, maybe $12.50. But I think $13, $14, this is a very interesting spot for SRAC, technically speaking, and we might see that continuation of the uptrend occur right around here, which is why I'm watching it. And eBay is another one, ticker symbol EBAY. Let me clear this drawing set very quickly to show you guys what the heck is going on here with eBay. It seems like it's in this downwards channel, similar to what Splunk is in, and it's slowly trying to break out. It's not there quite yet, but it's trying to break out. What you guys notice is we're right at the resistance of the channel at about $52. Today we went up 5%, so it seems like bulls are slowly gaining that head of steam, but we haven't broken out quite yet. So I think if 53 can break, 52.50, we might make a move up to my price target, trigger, alert, whatever you want to call it, at 54.50. So watch out for 53. Might make a move up to 55, and above 55 is where we could see a big leg up. And this chart kind of reminds me of the Activision chart, which we called out beautifully, and I hope some of you guys made some money there. I hope you guys did. I made some money on EA, and Activision was in a downtrending channel, and it broke out, and it's seen massive gains from that point where we called it out, up almost 10%. So eBay is very similar in my eyes, where if it breaks out of this channel, $52, it could see a 10% move to the mid to high 50s. I think it's very, very possible. So watch out for eBay. And I got a bunch of questions on LAZR today, Luminar Technologies, and this is a company that honestly I haven't done much research into, but I do have an excerpt here from Yahoo Finance which goes over the basis of the company. So let me read it to you. Luminar Technologies operates as a vehicle sensor and software company for passenger vehicles and trucks. The company operates in two segments, autonomy solutions and other component sales. The autonomy solution segment designs, manufactures, and sells LIDAR, I don't know if I'm saying that right, sensors, right? And related perception and autonomy software solutions for original equipment manufacturers in the automobile, commercial vehicle, robo-taxi, and other related industries. So they make these LIDAR sensors, which Mobileye just announced today, and Mobileye works with NIO, they're a subsidiary of Intel, right? They announced today that they're going to start making their own LIDAR sensors, and that ended up crushing LAZR, Luminar Technologies, as that's what they make, right? And these are obviously products for electric vehicles, for autonomous driving, which is obviously the future, and which is obviously why this stock's been hot from $10 to $48 in the span of a couple days, right? That's ridiculous. And now we got news from Mobileye that came out, and that's hitting this company because of the competition, right? And which is not a good sign, obviously, and investors aren't liking that. And maybe this sell-off was due, because it's gone up literally from the 20th of November, $10 to $47 in the span of 20 days, right? Which is ridiculous. And it's still up over 100%, even though it's pulled down from $47 to $20. So I'm not looking to jump into this one quite yet. It's arguably still a falling knife. There could be more downside, but anywhere from, let's say, maybe $17, 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart, maybe even $20. That could be an interesting spot, worth watching it for a potential rebound, maybe a potential relief rally. So watch out for LAZR at about, $17, $18, $19, $20 around there. Another one is SE. This one's C Limited, and this one's very textbook. This is very simple to see. It's been riding the 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart like clockwork for the past couple of months, and every time it's pulled down, seen a bit of a retracement, whether it's 5, 10%, 15%, it's held that 180 SMA, and it's rallied right off of it. So right now, we're approaching that level again. We hit a high of 212. Now we're at about 190. That's a pull down of close to 13%. So what I'm looking for is simple. Are we going to hold the 180 SMA again, rock it off of that point, maybe start to break out? If you guys take a look here on the hourly chart, maybe we start to break out above this little mini downtrend that it's still in. That could be an entry point. 185, 190, 195. So I'm watching this one. I like it. Ticker symbol SE. Another one here is Rocket, RKT. This is one that's interesting, guys. Rocket companies. This one's been slaughtered. Let's be honest. It's been slaughtered from $35 back in what? The beginning of September. Hasn't done much since then. Now it's finally starting to break out of this descending wedge that you guys can see here. It's breaking out of that lower high resistance at about $21.80, $22, and I think it's going to be gunning for those $23 levels. And I think if 23 can break, that is where we might see a bit of a rally on Rocket, probably from $23 to $24, giving the stock about a 6 to 8% upside from here. And I think if 24 can break, that's the big point of resistance back from the beginning towards the middle of October. That is where we could see an even bigger rally. So watch out for Rocket. IPOB is another one that their merger is completing here soon, the 17th, 18th, and they're going to be trading under the ticker symbol OPEN. Open on the Nasdaq starting on the 21st. This is one that's been hot. We called it out. It broke out of this wedge. If you guys remember, we called it out the day before that happened. We called it out beautifully, and it ran up to almost $30. Now it pulled down, and we might be able to get an entry point on IPOB, maybe from $25 to $27, right around this little range that we see between where the price is right now and the 50 simple moving average on the 4-hour chart. Let me show you with this little oval tool right here. Maybe we can get an entry point right around here. So I'm watching IPOB. There's probably going to be some hype heading into that merger. And when it opens up on the 21st, we'll see how it ends up going down. And the final two here, these are bonus ones that I'm watching. I'm not looking to pull the trigger quite yet, but I'm very interested. One of them is obviously NIO. We can't make a video without talking about NIO, guys. I'm loving how it held yesterday, $39, and today, how we actually accelerated above that point. We made a higher low. We pretty much have been uptrending in the past 2 days. I'm loving this on NIO for the signs of the beginning of the reversal, but we haven't quite gotten the full-on reversal yet. We're still under the 180 SMA here on the hourly chart, which has been resistance the past couple of weeks, and we're under a big resistance from a couple weeks ago as well. That was a support at about 43.50, right where we close. So tomorrow's going to be huge, and the rest of this week is going to be huge on NEO. I think if we can break above 44, 45, that is where we could get some serious headway in the stock, and the sell-off could be behind us. No joke. I think we could be going higher into the $50 level, $50 range from there. And the last one here, Virgin Galactic, which I had a bad suspicion about this one, guys. Ever since they aborted the mission on Saturday, I had a bad suspicion. I said it in the video, and it's turning out right. I said that Virgin Galactic is probably going to see a multi-day sell-off because I've been tracking it for a while, pretty much for a year at this point. I've been tracking the movements of the stock and around different news events, catalysts, that with test flights, that sometimes, a lot of the time, this is a type of stock that it kind of sells after a news event, right? It's kind of that type of stock where you buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing, or you buy up the event and then you sell after the event, right? That's kind of what this stock has been, at least to me, right? And it played out, right? The hype before the event, the flight, it went up to $36. The flight didn't happen. And then we saw a big drop yesterday, 17%. Today, another 7.5% drop. And notice we're right around that 180 SMA 4-hour chart. Old resistance at about 24.50. It might hold as a new support. So this could be a point where it bottoms out. Maybe we consolidate a bit. But the second it breaks mid-24s, I'm thinking it could be going down $22, which, again, that could be the third day of the sell-off, which might be the end of it. Who knows? But those are my thoughts, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about the different stocks we talk about, the markets in general. Are you buying? Are you selling? I would love to know. And don't forget to join the Discord chat, the Facebook group, link down below. They're free. You could also follow me on Instagram and Twitter for updates at Stas. And you could also get some free money, some free stocks from WeBull, link down below. All you have to do is deposit $100, and you get 4 free stocks from WeBull valued up to $1,600. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching as always. Stay safe out there, guys. Keep crushing the markets. Peace out.